I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Right, it's time for Big Cat Diary.
Oh, look at that. There's a reference for you.
That's a reference for you. Yes.
Oh, dear. No, that was a Sunday afternoon or early evening treat or something.
I think it was. I sort of vaguely remember. Was that one of the Kate Humble series of programs that... Was that her?
I don't
Someone else. I don't know. Anyway.
Hang on. Oh, my goodness. What?
That's not what I was talking about.
All right, hang on. I'm going in. Blimey. Look at that.
Have you found it?
Yeah. Do you want to know when that started?
Oh, probably not.
1996.
Oh, no. We are so old.
Yeah. No. Not Kate Humble. Kate Silverton.
Wrong Kate. There you go. Well,
Kate.
either is fine.
Yeah. Actually, she presented it later on. Original presenters were Jonathan Scott and Simon King, which, that does ring a bell now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
that's not what I was referring to. We got slightly sidetracked there.
It would appear so.
Yes, I am referring to Jaguar.
Yes, because we left it it's booked for an MOT, didn't we? That's
booked for MOT and service. The booking has now been completed. It went in on Monday and I got it back today. That's Thursday as of recording.
Mm-hmm.
So it was in for a little while.
It's longer than planned.
Longer than planned, as you know, but our dear listener may not. It failed the MOT. It was a little disappointing. Failed on brakes mainly.
Okay.
It didn't really have any.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, when you say failed because it didn't really have any, obviously rectified and happy days.
It is now.
Yes. I suppose the biggest question is, I mean, obviously you're quite accustomed to it in its original state. Now it's been improved. Did you put yourself through the windscreen almost on the first tap of the brakes then?
Well, not quite, but there's definitely a
noticeable
improvement. Yes. Yeah. There's less squeaking now as well. Some shenanigans have clearly gone on before I owned the vehicle, which I think you probably know about, but again, our dear listener may not. In the garage discovered some oddities there. In that, I get this the right way around. The rear discs were fine, but the pads were absolutely destroyed. And on the front, it's the other way round. The discs are scored to hell, but the pads are brand new. What's gone on there? Why would you only change one?
That's a bit...
He thinks the front ones were driven metal on metal for a while with no pads. They're that badly scored.
That would make sense.
I suppose hasn't happened in my ownership, but
I suppose the rears you might have just sort of got to it was just the luck of the draw. You happened to get to the MOT station when your pads were low.
Maybe.
I see what you mean.
I hadn't checked them, but the front's very strange. Why would you have badly scored discs but fit brand new pads? I mean, they're not massively expensive items.
I suppose someone's been a tight ass. That's
I guess
what we can glean from that.
Someone who doesn't really... Well, I was going to say someone who doesn't know what they're doing has changed it on the driveway. But if you know enough as to how to change the pads, you're going to have come across something that's going to tell you if your discs are badly scored, they need changing as well.
Yeah.
And braking force must have been massively reduced, and it would make a horrible noise. So,
oh dear, made a right old hash of that.
all a bit strange, but yes, that's been done. The parking brake was also sticking on one of the rear wheels. And they also discovered yesterday, which you don't know about, that the rear offside caliper, in fact, the whole assembly and the piston and everything was all completely shot. So they've replaced that as well.
Oh, fine.
So all of that done, re-MOT'd. They haven't say all of that done. That's not quite true. They haven't done the discs on the front yet because they didn't have time, but it is booked in for them to do it. So that is still an advisory on the MOT, unfortunately, but it will be sorted very shortly. So that's they just ran out of time, and they're a very busy garage, so I've had to book it back in to do that. They were very good. They didn't expect to be doing any of that. In fact, one of their guys stayed on late to do the rear discs, or the rear pads, sorry, which was very good of them. But it's booked back in to have the front done. So that's all fine. So I have an MOT. They've also done the service, which is all completed. So yes, all sorted. There were a couple of other little bits. One of which I knew about, but I just haven't tackled yet. It's something I'm going to have a go at myself. Which is one of the headlamp washers isn't working. Doesn't matter for the MOT, but I'll have a look at it at some point. And one of the front tyres is it's not getting too far down in tread, but for some reason it's quite sort of crazed and split on the sidewalls. Not bad enough to have affected the MOT, but they think it may be causing some vibration through the steering wheel, I've noticed.
You did mention that.
Yeah, they had a quick look and they said, well, we can't see anything wrong, obviously wrong, other than one of your front tyres is brand new, one of them's down to about 2 mil of tread, and it's got all cracking and things in it. We suggest you change the other front tyre, and that'll probably sort it. So I shall get that done in the next week or so. But it wasn't bad enough to fail the MOT. It's not even bad enough to be an advisory. But they think, since you've mentioned it, we think that's probably causing the vibration. So I shall get that sorted, and then then we're all there then.
Excellent news. That's good. I suppose, in the interests of updates, we should ask, Puma been all right since returning?
Puma has been fine, apart from one isolated incident this morning where it wouldn't start. Or at least it wouldn't start straight away. Dawn had to have 2 or 3 goes at it, and then eventually it went. Don't know what that was all about. It was quite cold this morning, whether that had affected it. It's never had a problem before. But it wouldn't fire until the third. It was turning over, and it was turning over at a decent speed, so it wasn't low battery. We didn't feel like low battery. It just wouldn't fire. But then on the third attempt it would. It's never done that before. It's been used twice more today, and started fine. So
right. Well, put that down as one to watch then.
Yeah, I'm not going to rush out to start investigating that at the moment, but we'll.
No, it's a bit extreme.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But yes, other than that, it has been spot on, and she's trying to use it as often as possible. So it's getting a bit of a workout at the moment, which is good. I have replaced the failed number plate bulb on the back, and I've stuck new number plates on it because they were an advisory on the MOT as well. They were literally falling apart.
So that can happen.
But I did a thing, and I'm not sure this isn't strictly legal, but it's not strictly illegal either. In that I've bought some replica original dealer plates for it from the dealer that sold it new.
Oh, okay.
It was just a nice thing. I thought it's a bit of a classic car. I looked up who the original supplying dealer was because we've got the original invoice for it in the file. And I got retro plates. They're called, and they make replicas of original dealer plates. So I had a set made up. I thought it was a nice thing to do.
Yeah. Why not?
It's a silly little detail, but it made me happy.
As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's the main thing.
Oh, I'm into that. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fetish about number plates. Anyway, I'm
saying nothing.
It looked lovely, but the ones that were on it were literally falling apart. So they had to be changed.
Yeah, they can't be helped. Yeah, that's good. No, nicely done.
So we're all right on the wheels front. I still have a longer term decision to make. I'm still not sure whether I will keep the sport brake long term. It may get changed again this summer, as we've discussed before. But we'll see.
Yes, open for debate, but we'll revisit when the time occurs.
Yes, indeed. So there we are. Now, where are you at? Any change in your circumstance?
Not directly, although I have been in contact today. Well, no, I haven't been in contact. They've been in contact with me.
They've been in contact with you, right?
Which is good. Yeah. I don't need to chase them. They're very good. So I will be, judging by what we've been talking about late this afternoon, not pinned down exactly on the day. However, we'll be collecting the week beginning the 18th.
Right. Oh, a firm date in the calendar.
Yes,
right.
That's it. We've yet to pin down the day, mostly because I need to have a chat with work, because it's going to have to be a weekday, and I need to just make some arrangements. But yes, all is well.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Well, let me know if you need any assistance with that.
I will indeed. Yes. I recognise it's a bit irritating being in the middle of the working day
that does make it a little more problematic, but it's not an insurmountable problem necessarily. No,
not at all. But yes, it's we are fresh up to date with news, because that occurred only a few hours ago, that conversation. So
hot off the press.
Yep. They said that it should all be good, so much so I should, all being well, have a reg by Friday next week. Meaning I can do a bit of paperwork my end.
Yeah, get some insurance quotes, etc.
Yeah, all in preparation for a day the following week.
What a day that will be.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it already. So I just need to find out exactly which one it's going to be. That's more at my discretion than theirs. It's not like they're going anywhere. That's where they work.
I imagine they're there a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will make the arrangements, and that'll be very good. I'm looking forward to that enormously.
Absolutely. Excellent work, sir.
Yeah. So do watch this space. It's actually going to occur now, so that's good. I am.
Love a new car day.
Yeah, I do. I'm just I'm in two minds about how to handle it. Of going, well, should I do earlier in the week and then it's with me sooner, or should I do later in the week so that I've got more time to actually use it?
Well, you got a weekend then, haven't you? Yeah. Oh, that's a
difficult one.
That's a tough one. Yeah. Get it early in the week. It's got to sit there, and you're not going to be able to do much with it for a few days. That's going to be torture.
I say it's going to be driving it to and from the office.
And then it's sat in the car park all afternoon while you can't go and look at it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So, I'm a busy little bastard at the moment. So yes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see.
See how it works out. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it's just going to be jiggling it around work projects at the moment.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Very good.
Yes. So, So next week I'll actually be able to confirm when it's going to arrive, and then, I mean, with a fair wind in this day in 2 weeks' time, could well be with us.
Oh, looking forward to that.
Yes. Then we'll have to do some episodes from the cars, because we've been threatening to do that, but not done it yet.
We need, we need one from both our vehicles, don't we? I mean, we've done one sort of from mine, but we need you behind the wheel of mine, and we need to do at least one, if not two, from yours, because we both need to drive it. Yes.
Well, that's all right, because that's worked out quite well, because we said we were going to hang on until yours had got a pass on the MOT, so that's...
Yeah, with all the bits and bobs sorted, so we're pretty much there with that, so yeah. Excellent.
Superb. Well, that's good. Right. Okay. So we've caught up on the fleet.
Yes.
I mean, I've got, in terms of fleet, I do have a Mini, but that's been fine. I've got nothing to report on that.
Nothing to report on that. No, nor would we expect there to be anything on that. No. Very good.
Well, I mean, you say that it's you would expect it to leak like a sieve. Considering the fact that the rain has not stopped pouring out of the sky until very recently.
It's been a bit like that, yes.
But it's actually been all right.
Fair enough.
I thought you know what it's been like. It's been torrential. I thought that
horrible.
Would really cause some havoc. But no, it's been absolutely fine.
Good.
Aside from the awkwardness of going, well, it's a small car, and I had to transport the kids and one of their friends, and just go, oh dear, this really highlights the fact that it's a small car. But
well, yes, it is, though, isn't it? I mean, there's no getting away from that.
But it did it. So
yeah.
We weren't hampered. We were just, I was hampered because I had to drive really close to the steering wheel to get someone behind me. But
the rear seat on those is quite big, isn't it? It's quite deep.
Yeah, and
size car.
It's fine. It's just, I mean, I'm neither tall nor short, but the seat has to go back far enough, so that anyone behind me, can't really go there, so I have to make compromise and move my chair forward, and then have to drive like an old deer and hope the airbag doesn't go off, because it's going to fire directly into my chest.
That's going to hurt, that, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go.
Notes pressed on the windscreen.
Oh dear, no, fortunately not quite that drastic, but still not.
Okay.
Right. Do you think we've not had a moan, have we, really?
Not yet, really. No, it's all been quite positive so far.
Well, and in previous episodes, we've probably been a couple of weeks without a really good moan.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, We've been good boys.
That's it. Right. Do you fancy one?
Oh, crack on then. Yeah, we love a good complaint on this.
Good. Right. Best-selling cars in the UK in 2024 so far.
Oh, you always love these lists.
Yeah, I do.
I haven't seen these figures this time. I normally keep an eye on them, but I haven't on this occasion. So
right, okay, let's.
It's going to be full of SUVs. I mean, I don't even need you to read them out, really. It's just.
Well, then we could play a fun game of guess which one's number one.
I'm tempted to say Tesla Model Y, but I'm gonna say Ford Puma.
You'd be very correct to go with Ford Puma. Yes. There it is. A gopping little toss wagon is number one.
Yes.
I'm surprised I didn't use that as the tagline.
They will now they've heard it.
Yeah. Number two, Kia Sportage. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Number three, Nissan Qashqai.
Oh.
A surprise oh my god, it all went a bit smashing nicely there. A surprise entry at number four.
Do a lot for charity, mate.
It's bad. Surprise entry at number four, a BMW 1 Series.
Well, that is a surprise. Okay, but it's not an SUV.
No, it's not.
So we applaud it.
We do. I mean, one thing of note, and I can't pass judgment because I've not driven it. I've driven 1 Series, but not the latest one.
I've driven 1 Series, but not for quite a while. Yeah.
The latest incarnation of 1 Series is front-wheel drive.
Was it not always?
No. It stuck to the BMW guns of rear-wheel drive for quite some time.
Okay. The ones I drove must have been rear then. I don't don't remember. Oh, so they've right.
So it's basically 2019 was the last time it was updated. So 2019 onwards is front-wheel drive.
Okay, but BMW don't do front-wheel drive.
Well, you say that. Remember when the 2 Series was launched? That was front-wheel drive.
Oh yeah, true. I suppose. Yeah.
Oh god, that's got a bit nerdy there, isn't it?
That's gone proper geeky. That, yeah.
Right. Okay. So interesting though. We applaud the fact that it's not an SUV.
We do.
Some more applause is coming on. Number 5, the Mini.
Excellent.
But it's Mini grouped together, not individual models.
Oh, so it could be the silly big, whatever it's called.
No, it's
Countryman.
No, this is specifically. Sorry, no, it's specifically the Mini hatchback, but it doesn't matter which variant it is, be it electric, petrol.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the electric ones are selling quite well, so there could be an electric proportion of that. Yeah.
Oh, there certainly is, but it's been grouped.
Okay, fair enough. Good. Again, not an SUV.
Not an SUV. Number 6, not an SUV, Volkswagen Golf.
Well, that's made a bit of a comeback then, because that's not done so well of late.
No.
Very good.
Well, it's still up there. Back in the SUV territory though. The MGHS.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about a VW Polo and a Frock, an Audi A3?
Well, again, it's not an SUV.
It's not. But the final 2, number 9, number 10 are. We've got the Volkswagen T-Roc at number 9 and number 10. Everyone's utter favourite, hideous thing, Nissan Duke.
Oh dear. There's a surprisingly few number of EVs there.
I suppose so.
I mean, Mini includes.
Mini is. I don't. The Golf is more plug-in hybrids, isn't it?
It's using Golf because it would be ID3 if it was pure electric.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, there's nothing in there that's particularly.
Because there's a lot of stories around at the moment that people are turning away from EVs and manufacturers are backing off them. But the trouble is, you don't know what to believe because there's so much nonsense out there.
I think it's interesting that there is a lot of nonsense out there, but I can see that. Well, you can see from that actual buying figures there that people are steering slightly clearer of EVs because I think people are frightened about depreciation.
They are, and EVs of late have not held their value. I mean, I keep a close eye on Model S prices, and they are plummeting. There's no other way. I mean, you can get a Model S now for less than 12 grand. Which
is madness, really.
Well, a bargain in some ways, but yes, it is madness.
Bargain in some ways, can of worms in another.
Yeah, indeed.
Just whichever spin you want to put on it.
It depends how you look at it. But yeah, that's interesting, and not a single Tesla in that list, which is the first time I think in quite some time that the best-selling cars list has not included a Tesla.
Yeah, that is a bit odd considering it's quite SUV toss wagon heavy.
Well, and they've just launched the new Model 3.
Yes, although I can't remember we discussed on here or off podcast it's really boring that I've looked at like leasing deals on this. I don't want these, but I've looked at them.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And despite being the same sort of tech platform and altogether a smaller car, which you think would make it cheaper, it actually costs more than a Y to lease.
I know, I've read this, that actually, well, even if you're paying outright, if you spec it in a certain way, you can have a Model Y for less than a Model 3. Now, Model 3 has just been refreshed with the Highland. There is a refresh for the Model Y coming later this year, which is codenamed Juniper. I don't know where they come up with these names.
Maybe they're like gin.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It'll be Elon naming it after booze. That's what's going on there. So later in the year, that may flip round the other way again when there's a new version, because at the moment, the tech is more up to date on the 3 than it is on the Y.
Okay, maybe that will explain it then. But
so
still,
that will reverse, I think, later in the year. But
it's weird when you look at it on a website. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But then I pop off to Auto Trader and look at the price of used Model S's and say, well, that's clearly where you should be looking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's crazy, and I mean, there are some glimmers of hope on that list, but in general, it's a sea of just dreariness.
I'm encouraged that the Mini is there. I'm encouraged that the Golf is there.
Yeah,
and I'm encouraged that the 1 Series is there. Yeah, the rest of it can get in the sea, really.
Yeah, not really bothered. No,
but I'm not surprised by that list.
No, I'm not surprised, but there's the odd glimmer of hope. But yeah, don't know. Well,
it's a funny time for car sales at the moment. It really is. Prices are weird. Nobody's quite sure what the future holds or what to do next. Yeah. I can see why that list is all over the place.
Okay. We often promised that as soon as we got some Jag news, we'd be right back on it. And
we did.
And it's now being widely reported. For instance, I've read it on quite a few news outlets now that it's fully confirmed. Jaguar is going SUV only, completely, and XE, XF, and F-Type all completely bow out now. I know we spoke about F-Type with the run-out models, but they are all due to stop in June.
And they did say a little while ago that this would be the last year for the XF. It's sort of news, isn't it? I mean, we sort of knew about this.
But it's written down now. That's it. So
it is now written down that they're going SUV only until the new range of all-electric Jaguars appears, is what they've said.
So it's also been stated in various news places that Castle Bromwich is preparing to transition to the production of body panels for a whole new line of vehicles.
Yes, they haven't said Jaguar vehicles.
It's difficult to know. I mean, it's in a Jaguar sort of article, so I don't know.
It's difficult to know, isn't it? I mean, I remain deeply worried.
But one thing is saying, it goes SUV only. One thing to caveat that is that's not saying that the new range of cars are going to be SUV only. It's just saying that the cars that remain on sale are SUV only.
That's a very valid point, and you're right to make it. A lot of people are interpreting it like that. There's been a lot of chat this week on the Jaguar Facebook groups that I'm a member of, and a lot of people are misreading it, that it's electric SUV only. That's not what they've said. They've never said that. In fact, they have said that one of the electric cars will in fact be a GT saloon. So the electrics won't necessarily be SUV.
That's the problem.
They're just going to limp along until they get there with the existing lineup of petrol and diesel SUVs.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everyone's looked at the headline and went, oh, bloody hell. Myself included, but I actually go, well, I'll click on the headline and then read the article.
Yes, let's read the detail.
So, it is important to note that the only Jaguars you can buy, or will be able to buy, because obviously they've still got some line about, will be I-Pace, E-Pace, and F-Pace.
Correct.
But yes, that the SUV bit does not refer to the upcoming EV range.
No, and I don't think it will, because that will be satisfied by Land Rover.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming the two companies remain together, and that's by no means certain, I would say.
No, not a done deal, but I mean,
but
for the
if they do,
foreseeable, yes. Long term, don't know.
Long term, don't know.
I suppose long term depends on how well this EV launch of their range goes.
If Jaguar EV sales don't work, I think we could see it up for sale.
Yeah, fairly sharpish, I would say.
I think Tata would want to get rid. Tata, obviously, well, they've been given 500 million, as we've mentioned before, by the government for this battery plant in Bridgewater.
Yes.
They haven't said what vehicles those batteries would go into. They've also been given a hefty grant for renewable energy stuff in the UK, at the same time as building new oil and gas refinery plants in India. So that's good.
Swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. That's one phrase for it. Yes, indeed. Yes. So
yes.
But we won't get into that because that's not strictly about cars. But questionable practices there. But I remain deeply concerned about Jaguar. I think this is possibly the most critical point in their history. If they don't get this right, if this doesn't work, could be a problem.
Reading a little further, like you mentioned that the first EV that's going to be with us is going to be they've specified it as an electric 4-seat GT.
Correct, yes.
Which is fine. I think not a bad place to start.
Correct, Jay.
I'm saying nothing. And they're due to we're rumoured to be following it up with an SUV, which, I mean, you go, right, well, you kind of have to.
You've got to do it. People are going to want it. It's what sells. It's going to be in the range.
Yep.
You can't miss it out. You're taking yourself out of a huge sales opportunity if you don't do one. Fair enough. It's like the Lotus Electra, isn't it?
Same thing.
But we accept they've got to do it.
That's it. And they're all due to be built on this new platform that they're working on.
The Panthera platform, I believe it was called. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if they've updated it. I think there was some a three-letter name for it, or code.
Yeah, that was the code name they gave it originally when they were first working with the Canadian company. I don't know if they still are.
So yeah, it's due, and like we said before, it's a complete new platform. It's not related to anything going on at the moment.
Nope.
No,
because the reason people surmised for the electric XJ being cancelled was that it was based on a platform that could be used both for electric and piston, and they felt that it was a bit outdated even before it was launched, so that was why they canned it.
Which doesn't make any sense. There's plenty of companies doing well on those sort of platforms at the moment.
Even if it was only an interim vehicle.
Yeah,
we'd have still got 5 years of sales out of it.
That's not what it could do.
Maybe that's not the real reason. I don't know.
Do you remember? I mean, you remember when the XF came out and everyone gushed?
They did, and they didn't realise that if you just scratched under the paintwork a little bit, it was still an S-Type.
Don't do that. All we're saying is that packaging was a really wonderful shift for Jaguar. That
it was.
It needs to be that thing. It needs to have that wow factor that it did then.
What they did, led by Ian Callum with the XF, was very clever because it wasn't as revolutionary as it looked.
No.
At all. The first generation of XF was basically the S-Type with a more modern body and a more modern interior. Same engines, same everything. It was. They can't do that this time.
Mm-mm.
They don't have the option of just warming over a previous model whilst they get sales up, and then for the next generation they can change it, which is what they did with the XF.
Yeah.
A second generation XF is a completely different car to the first gen, even though it looked basically the same. They can't do that this time.
Yeah.
There is no platform they can warm over. Well, they've got I-Pace, but I mean that's pretty long in the tooth now.
I think
and it wasn't that competitive when it came out. So this has got to be cleverer than that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I hope it has at least the visual impact that XF did, or indeed that XJ did in 2010. I know a lot of people didn't like the new, the Callum XJ, if you like, but it was certainly different. I do quite like it, for the record, but a lot of people didn't at the time.
Oh yeah, I've got no objection to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to gush about it, but I'd quite like to be ferried around in one.
It's not a bad looking old Hector, is it?
No, not at all.
But this can't just be visually stunning, and there's a lot of legacy there as well. People are still expected to look like a Jaguar. And I know what a Jaguar looks like has evolved over the years. I mean, when the new generation of Jags came along and people said, oh, well, that's not a proper Jaguar because it doesn't look like the old XJ. It's not low enough. It's not sleek enough. But they were bold enough to change the language and say, well, okay, yeah, but this is what the modern Jags look like.
Times change.
Yeah. I hope they have a design lead who can do something like that and say, okay, this is the Jaguar for the next generation, and get people enthused about the brand again.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like that.
Because they've lost a lot of ground on that front. They've got to win back the hearts and minds, as the old boss of IBM used to say.
Well, that's the thing, because you look at it and go, oh, I'll buy an XE. You go, no, that's a sea of boring.
Yeah, I mean, I test drove an XE when they first came out, and yeah, it's all right, but it was a bit forgettable.
It's forgettable. If it's forgettable to drive, it's certainly forgettable to look at as well.
Yeah.
While it's part of the same language, it feels like a miss.
It doesn't, strangely, even though it sort of looks like an XF that they've let some air out of, it doesn't work as well as the XF for me.
No.
The back's a bit stubby, and the XF, just the proportions are better.
It's all right. Well, they're not selling them anymore, so
they're not doing any of those anymore, so it's all irrelevant now.
No, that's it. So all right, well, we'll watch this space, and we'll be back with Jag news. So let's not worry about that.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, we might be all right.
We might.
Oh, a lovely bit of car news this week that's done the rounds and actually made mainstream press as well. 29 years after it was stolen, Gerhard Berger's Ferrari has been found.
Oh, I missed this. Right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he had a Ferrari 512M, and it was stolen during the 1995 San Marino Grand Prix at Imola.
Wow.
And, supposedly it was stolen and then immediately sent off to Japan.
Yeah.
And it got flagged. I think they said either last month or month before. It was being prepped for sale somewhere, and someone was doing pre-purchase checks. I can't remember. I think it might have been a US buyer, but I'm not sure. I think it was still in Japan.
Right.
And they put two and two together and went, oh, it's that one.
They realised what it was. Wow. Oh, very good. Is he going to have it back?
I don't know. That's the thing. I've just.
Does he want it back?
I'm just sort of skimming through it and going. I mean, it's not in bad shape, but it's certainly been poked a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I know people over the years who've had cars stolen that they were, really liked, and they get found and brought back, and even if they're still in good condition, they say, I don't want it anymore. It doesn't feel like mine anymore. No, someone else has been in it. Someone else has messed with it. I don't, yeah, I loved it, but it's not the same anymore. I don't want it back. And they end up just selling it, even though it was a pride and joy,
It'd be interesting
it's a real
to
shame
find
when
out.
that happens.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out what happens. Like, because like I said, I don't know if the Gerhard Berger wants it back. I can't imagine he's short of a bob or two.
I imagine he's replaced it.
I would have thought so. Yeah, yes. I mean, that would have been. I suppose he would have been rocking around in the Ferrari because he was a Ferrari driver at the time.
Was it given to him by them, or did he buy it? Do we know that?
Oh, we don't.
Because a lot of these racing teams will give their drivers a road car, won't they, to help promote the brand.
Oh, right. Okay. No. Sorry, I'd skimmed too casually over the article. A Ferrari spokesperson said the car remains property of Ferrari.
So it was never his in the first place.
No, so it was his company car. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Oh well, it'll probably go back to them then.
Yeah, that's it. And I suppose actually it's like they will have no desire to let him have it actually because
it was never his in the first place.
He left at the end of '95 and never went back. So
I should imagine he's not going to get that back then.
But it's, I thought it was noteworthy the fact that I actually saw it. It made BBC News.
It's a car with a story, though. They'll be able to get a good price for it.
Yeah. Well, let's say get a good price for it. Ferrari said that's going to go back. It's going to sit in Maranello. I wonder. That will go in the museum as a nice little piece, wouldn't it? That one.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. I mean, they probably don't need the money, do they? So
they don't need the money, and what they could do is get some of the tat that's been bolted onto it off of it.
Turn it back. Take it back to stock. And slide it into the museum. Yeah.
Someone's put a horrendous aftermarket wheel and gear knob and things like that on it, and the wheels are brilliant.
Yeah, but they're little. They'll soon have those off. That's a morning's work to sort that out. That's not an issue.
A morning's work? What, in Italy?
Oh, true. Sorry, I
spread that over a week of various bits of work interspersed with meals
and adjusting the tie. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot with whom we were dealing.
You and I have both been to Italy. We know things operate in a different time frame, and they must be commended for it as well.
Yeah, it is. Things do happen at a different pace there. It's true.
I'm envious, to be honest.
Lunch takes 4 hours. It's fantastic.
And 4 bottles of wine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't see properly afterwards.
No, but then you can shape yourself up really quickly with the strongest espresso known to man.
Oh, that'll jolt you back into place. Yeah.
Yeah. Quick.
Back to the office.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said. I'm sure we've said it on the podcast before. Like I remember being in Rome and a Range Rover knocked someone off their scooter. The driver of the Range Rover got out. They had actual fisticuffs and then went about their day.
Oh, fantastic.
No details were exchanged.
Standard procedure.
Just an actual fight and then move on.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
Yeah. And
I've made my point.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Can you imagine that? Like if that kicked off in London, everyone would have their phones out filming it and...
Oh, absolutely. That'd be on BBC. That would
go viral. But yeah, no, Rome, fine.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
a couple of punches, on with your day.
Yeah, that's right. You pinted one on me, I pinted one on you. All's fair. Off we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it needs. Yes.
Yeah. So I do think we overthink it over here. Good. Right. That's that one ticked off my list. Right. I did have another one.
Oh. Well. You're on it tonight.
I'm on it. Now this is a ballsy move. The new Dodge Charger.
Interesting. This one was on my list as well.
Is it? Oh well, I'll tell you what. Rather than stealing your thunder, I've jibber jabbered about the last two. I'll let you lead with this one.
You say that. I've now I've scrolled too far and I can't find it now. Oh dear! You know what it's like, didn't I? Oh, I got to click. I recall. It has some interesting looks.
Emissions.
Well, that as well. I can't find it now. Oh dear.
Right. Well, the biggest thing of note is there's no V8 motor.
No V8 motor in the 2024 model year.
Yes.
No, indeed. Oh, I found it now. Yes.
Okay. Right.
There we are. Yes, indeed. Right.
You go for it.
Yes. The Dodge Charger, a staple of the petrol-head world, is going electric.
And I'm surprised they don't think it's a commie plot.
Now they have God damn!
Oh no! I'm so. That's. Oh no! Between you and me, I think your accent and my generalisation, that's that buggered, isn't it?
Goddamn commie electric. Anyway, yes, what Dodge has called the world's first and only electric muscle car. I think I would debate that. However, that's what they've said.
Mind you, I don't know actually. I mean, muscle car, it's a very specific set of criteria.
Okay, let's define it.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You immediately said you didn't think that might be the case. So what do you think would rival it?
I would argue the Tesla Model S is a muscle car. And always has been.
It's the packaging that bothers me.
Okay. What? Okay. I didn't think a muscle car.
I think the packaging
doesn't.
Of the Model S is too sedate to be classed as a muscle car.
Well, because it's effectively a 5-door hatch. I mean, it's a big car for a hatch, but it is nevertheless and remains so.
Do you know what? If I want a muscle car, I would like something brash.
Yeah, okay. Well, as I said, define muscle car. That could be a criteria. Yeah, quite in your face, and certainly the Charger always has been.
Yeah, and I think, you think Charger, you think Mustang, Camaro, all of that. You park a Model S alongside that lot, be it old ones or new variants, and you go, while you've got the performance, you don't have the visuals, do you?
Although
I'm not saying the Model S is unpleasant to look at. I think it's of all the Tesla lineup, but it's probably my favourite to look at.
Most people, no, that's not the issue. This isn't about whether it's good. The muscle car doesn't necessarily have to be good looking.
No.
They are going to be doing, by the looks of it, a 4-door version of it.
Yes, I saw that. So what they're saying is, so you said it's going to be EV. It's not strictly EV only. There's going to be a straight 6 as well.
Yeah, there will be a piston.
Yeah, but there is very much no V8.
No V8, electric or V6. And yes, it looks still, I think, like a Charger. They've gone.
I was going to say, it's to go back to what we were saying. It looks like a muscle car.
It does look like a muscle car. It looks like a Charger. They've gone sort of quite vanishing point with some of their launch photos in white.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's
actually nice to look at.
It actually is, and it still looks like a Charger. If you didn't know and someone showed you a photo and say, "What's that? The new version of?" You would say, "Well, it's a Dodge Charger."
Yeah, I do like it.
But yeah, I mean, again, there will be a 4-door version, but there's been a 4-door version of the Charger for quite a while, because obviously it was the Challenger that was the 2-door. Be interesting if they follow suit with that. I wonder if they'll drop the Challenger now that there's going to be a 2-door Charger again.
Maybe. Well,
I mean, the Challenger always was a little bit in the Charger's shadow.
I would agree with that.
I love them both, but just looking to see if there's any stats here on the electrical version.
I'm having a skim myself.
Yes. Yeah, they've been a bit sketchy on that. 100 and just over 100.5 kilowatt hour battery pack.
So it's
quite big actually for
yeah. So they actually I found the same bit. So they're saying 317 miles of range.
That's respectable.
The battery can be charged at rates up to 183 kilowatts. Sorry.
Okay, well that's respectable as well.
Allowing for from a 20% charge up to an 80% charge in 27 minutes.
Yep. They will be doing RT and Scat Pack versions.
Oh dear!
Naughty!
And again, I mean, calling it Scat Pack, that's an issue in itself.
Doesn't mean over there what it means here. I don't.
Unfortunately, someone needs to tell them that.
Yes.
That it does mean things.
It does. I'll have the RT because I can't have a car with the word scat on the boot.
No, not with me anywhere near.
No, because it's not an option. I don't care how good it is. I can't have that one.
It's the same reason that you couldn't go all 90s on us and buy a Ford Probe. Because one night when you're fast asleep, I'll nip round with a permanent marker and write anal in front of it.
You just will.
Yeah.
You just will. Yeah.
Because I am a child and it must be done.
You won't be able to resist.
No, it's not. It's not possible for anyone to resist such things.
So we can't have the Scat Pack, but we could have the RT version.
Yes.
I'm gonna say I think that is fantastic.
I think that's fair. I think it looks great.
I think it looks great. I think it looks really good.
Yeah,
I think it still looks like a Dodge Charger straight. It's a bit of an amalgam actually, particularly on the side profile of Charger and Challenger.
Yeah, it's not far off, is it?
That's why I wonder if they'll drop Challenger now, but
we'll see. But it does look brilliant. I mean, well done.
Really
well
does.
done.
I would consider that, even if it's only available in left-hand drive. Mind you, so is the Model S. So that's...
To be honest, though, I mean, the Model S is available in left-hand drive, but which would you consider more?
Ooh.
There is a correct answer here.
Is there?
I've thought about it and I've figured out what the answer is.
There's a right and wrong way to go here, is there? Right. In your humble opinion, which would I? Oh dear, that or a Model S? Oh dear.
Would you like me to tell you the answer?
Oh dear. No, give me a minute. Specs are good. We don't know a price yet, do we?
We don't, but we can make some assumptions.
We can. It's going to be cheaper than the Model S.
Yeah.
It just is. It's going to be cheaper than a Model S. Oh, it's proper American, that, isn't it? Whereas the Model S doesn't, although it doesn't feel American.
No, it's not very yeehaw.
No, that's extremely yeehaw, especially if you get it in that orange.
Oh.
That's glow it over with some Hemi orange, and you've sold it.
Oh, yeah.
That would be very hard to ignore.
It would. Right, I'll tell you what then. This is the correct answer. Because it will be cheaper. However, you're considering both cars. You go, right, well, actually, I've got enough budget to buy a new Model S. So what you do is you buy one of these instead, and then with the change, you go and buy a used Model S for 12 grand.
Superb.
There you go. You've got your daily and your weekend. All done.
Thinking. Yeah. And if you buy a used Model S, you can have it in right-hand drive.
There you go. So what you've done there is you've applied maths and got two cars for two occasions.
If this doesn't have to be my practical daily, I'll have the two-door version and pretend it's a Challenger and go and be all Vanishing Point.
Yes, there you go. There you go. I've solved that.
Or, which in my opinion is a better Challenger movie, Death Proof.
Oh, it is good actually. Yeah, it is better than Vanishing Point.
It's great. It is better than Vanishing Point. That's controversial, but I say it is.
I don't know.
Death Proof. It's a fantastic. It's a ridiculous film. It's completely meaningless, but I love it.
I don't think that's ridiculous. No, I don't.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And the star of it really is, well, there's a Charger and a Challenger, but I think the Challenger's the star of the show.
Good cast as well, if we're going.
Very good cast. Yeah. Very good cast. Anyway, I think that's going to cause some...
hang on. 2 seconds. While we're talking about that, actually, should we just cover all bases there and just sort of remember to say, Phil, Death Proof is a film from 2007.
I believe it was... was it Tarantino's first movie?
No, not his first one. It was Tarantino, but yes, it wasn't his first one.
I think it is his first one.
No.
I think it was.
I thought Reservoir Dogs was.
Oh, that was much later.
No, Reservoir Dogs was 92.
Looking it up. I'm almost certain that's his first movie.
Okay, I can hear tapping. Come on.
People love a bit of typing on this podcast. Let's see. I'm sure I read somewhere that it was. There we go. No, I don't need all that. Oh, no, you are correct. I stand... Yes, you're right. It was Reservoir Dogs. Where did I read that Death Proof was his first movie?
I was going to say Death Proof was massively far in his career.
Yeah, it was 2007. You're right. Reservoir Dogs was 92. Yeah, I thought Death Proof was earlier than that.
Phil, Reservoir Dogs is Tarantino's first film from 1992.
My personal favourite is Jackie Brown from 1997, but that's
we covered that in the films that I didn't get. Yeah,
we did. Oh yes, that was in our list that you got wrong. Yes.
What? And you got it right?
No.
Oh dear. But
right.
Yes.
We're not very good at that.
But Death Proof is very good.
Death Proof is very good, and I'd recommend a watch. However, the new electric Dodge here, I think, is going to cause some raised eyebrows in certain areas.
Yes, and we know which areas are those. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, all of those, yeah.
Billy Bob's going to be very upset about that.
Oh, no. That's a live and let die reference there, isn't it?
It is. Very good.
Oh,
dear. Anyway, I think that's great. I really do.
Just bolting it whole damn river.
Yes. Billy Bob will get him. I think that's brilliant. I really do. I approve of that enormously, but I am a closet American, as we have established.
We know that, but in this instance, I do agree with you. And before we make any other appalling references, we should probably say, well, that's our top tip for this. We go, right, you don't buy a brand new Tesla, you buy a new Dodge Charger and buy a knackered second-hand Model S to go with it.
I would debate the word knackered, but
it's going to have had a lot of arse in it for 12 grand.
Not necessarily. Anyway, that's not the issue. But you're not.
But you know what I mean. It's not box fresh.
Oh no, you're not pulling the trigger. Although you probably are in a Charger, because it probably comes with a gun in the glove compartment, doesn't it?
Mm. Oh yeah, there you go. There's the segue and the ending that we needed. Because the Charger will come with a gun holder because we forgot to mention the baguette holder in the Renault 5.
Lovely work, sir. Yes.
There we go. Best
the French
feature
car, you can store a baguette. With an American car, you can store a gun. There you go. National stereotypes everywhere.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.